Los Angeles. Welcome to Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jez Moyer. This is Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Now also available on Apple TV and Roku.
Right, today is Thought Thursday, and we're going to talk with some amazing guests, but knowing that our mind is powerful. Whatever we're thinking at a subconscious level is projecting out into our lives, and the ability we have is to declare, command, and demand what we want to create that is new today. So
Love that.
Let's have a new day, you guys.
I love that.
It's always a new day.
I'm glad that you remind us of the day, Erin, because sometimes I do forget. Like, is it Wednesday? Is it Thursday?
Amen. It is Thursday. We have two very special guests in the house. I'm very excited to welcome Ms. Camille Montgomery. She is one of the stars of Sick for Toys. We had the filmmakers on earlier this year. Good morning, Camille.
Good morning.
Congratulations. Sick for Toys just announced it made it to Shriekfest.
What?
Yeah, it's super exciting. October 7th at 5:45. You guys should come.
Congrats.
That's really exciting. And Tiffany, thank you so much for being with us this morning. We're so excited that you're here and going to share with us the non-techie savvy secret tips to being a successful entrepreneur.
That's right. That's right.
So I have a feeling it starts with a tip for how your morning should be. So Tiffany, what's your morning routine like? How do you start your day?
It's a great question because I really believe how you start your day carries you throughout the rest of your day. How I start my day now is much different than before, which we can get into later. It translates into me having a much better life and making a lot more money, but I put myself first. So I actually check in with myself versus checking in with my phone in the morning. And I ask myself, what do I need today? And have an honest answer. I don't always like the answer. Sometimes it's extra sleep. Sometimes it's a lot of coffee. Well, all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's meditation. Sometimes it's movement. And I honor what I need above all else. Even if I have other commitments, I make it work. So that would be like my number one tip to say is honor what you need first. And I know a lot of people, whether you have kids or whatever it is, you can fit that in. Whatever it is that you need, somehow you can finesse it and massage it into your morning.
That's
Beautiful.
Yeah. Camille, what about you? How do you start your day?
I start my day with meditation, and it's very challenging. Even when I don't want to meditate, I do it anyway, but I like that, listening to what you need, even though I probably would never meditate that way because I would avoid it. But it's really nice to be still in the morning for me, just to sit with whatever's coming up. So I always start with meditation, and then I drink a bunch of water because that's also something that's important that I forget to do. And yeah, so I just start in that way, and then every morning it's different after that. But it's just nice to be with myself and, in a sense, yeah, be selfish and just kind of drop in and come home a bit more. So
I love that.
Me too. Thank you so much for being with us this morning, ladies, for sharing your time and your light. We're excited to get to talk to you more later in the show.
So interesting. It reminds me, I love listening to all of our guests and how they start their morning each day. And I don't have time to read a whole book, but I had that book given to me yesterday by Mike, the Contagious book, about what goes viral and stuff. They were talking about how things like, daily or having coffee or things that are habitual. And I was thinking about how much we do that in a lot of this show, and it's pretty cool. And I do think it's a great commitment to just start your day off, whether it be with this community or doing your own daily spiritual practice or whatever, but having something that's consistent to make sure that you get your mind right is so important. So I'm so proud of what we're doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it feels so gifted by our guests, right? It's so incredible because they remind us of that.
For sure.
Well said, Erin.
Yeah, absolutely. Each and every day is like life school for me here. It's been really incredible just to be able to learn. The amount of wealth and community that's been shared here is truly beyond. We're hashtag community powered here at Focus
That's right.
TV. That is for sure.
And love focused.
That's right. Speaking of community, so yesterday, Erin, I brought you a few little gifts.
What?
I went to a very special event at Spa LaLa, and it's here in Los Angeles, but in Studio City, and it's a spa for moms.
I love it.
Kind of a genius idea, right? There is a soundproof childcare center in front of the spa, and it's managed by a nanny the entire time, so you can bring your child, which is great because I don't have a child myself, but I have a lot of girlfriends with kids, and we can never do a spa day because what do they do with the child? And you hear so many new moms say, I just want to take a nap. You can buy nap time. I just want to take a bath. you can take a bath. I mean, it's really
genius.
It's genius, and it's totally accessible. Just I wanted to do that,
I love that.
and bring you a few little gifts. They partnered up with Cot, which is a very cool premium denim company, and little bath salts, spa LaLa.
So sweet.
You are one of my
so sweet.
favorite moms. We talk about your son all the time, so I thought you should have
Thank
a little
you.
mom treat,
Aw.
courtesy of Spa LaLa.
Thank you so much. That's
So
so
awesome.
sweet.
What a great idea, too.
I do remember when my son was little, I remember going to the gym just because they gave me free daycare. I was like, I just need a break for like 30 minutes, and I just said, go to the gym. It wasn't even that I wanted to work out so much.
Yeah.
I just needed like a breath, you know. So
It's funny you
it
say
works.
that. My first corporate job, I intentionally got my windows tinted, like extra dark, like an extra level dark, just so I could, at my lunch break, go into the car and take a nap. I can't imagine what it's like to be a mom. I did. I'm not kidding. Like it was like 30 minutes, or like it didn't work out that way. It was like ended up being 15 times you get to the car and the whole nine. But yeah, I can appreciate a good nap.
Yeah.
When you have kids, it's a whole other
It's
thing.
really interesting. I mean, it brings up the point that Tiffany was just mentioning, really just starting her day, getting herself right first. And I think it's really time, especially right now, for us to prioritize self-care. Self-care is not a luxury. It is a priority. It is an absolute must. You have to take care of yourself if you're really going to align with your true self and fulfill your purpose. You have to do you, right?
It's the foundation of everything else, right?
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
It's that Ayn Rand thing. Like, where is that selfishness being actually for the highest good? And I'm all about that. I don't think that it's selfish like you're being, like, I think that you truly have to take care of yourself. You truly have to put yourself first to be able to even give to anybody.
Oh, totally. I mean,
authentically.
If you're not healthy, how can you help anybody
Yeah,
else?
for sure.
So
Absolutely.
that is exactly why I've gifted myself these flowers in this beautiful box
Look how
from the
cool.
Bouquet Bar.
What?
Yeah, absolutely.
Love.
Sometimes you have to show yourself a little love. I ordered this box. It arrived within 24 hours. It is the art of giving. It's a new premium way of being able to gift, to share, to celebrate. There's flowers in the box. They've got great designer candles, premium nuts,
Are
designer
those truffles?
chocolate,
Oh.
truffles. Rob, you
Oh
can
my
have
gosh. This
these.
is my favorite part of
Aaron,
it.
you can use this Bouquet Bar candle with your new Spa
It's a
LaLa
candle?
bath salts. That is a candle, absolutely. And the packaging is
gifting.
so luxury, and that's one of the things I love most about the Bouquet Bar. When you open this box, it is just really like a luxurious experience, right?
And it goes with the Morning LALALAND brand.
Absolutely. It
colors are
it
right
looks
on
and
point.
feels as premium as you want it to be, which is really unique in the world of gifting, right? And so taking a note from that Alicia Silverstone movie in Clueless, and she's like, you know what, how you have to feel fabulous? You send yourself flowers. And I thought, there we go, Bouquet Bar. 24 hours later, it's arrived and it's beautiful.
I
That's
love
great,
that.
I love that.
Beautiful, gorgeous packaging. Wow. I mean, I do think that, what do you buy somebody that has everything? I mean, I think it is a challenging thing because most of us, like, we are very blessed and we generally buy what we need. So gifts are always challenging. I'm always like buying people rosé, champagne all day. And I don't
Everybody
even
seems to
drink,
like
but I'm like,
rosé.
they like it. I know this is a good one. Okay, let's go.
I know people
But
that don't
flowers,
drink.
how can you not go? You can't go wrong with flowers.
That's true.
The flowers and premium little goods, and you get to design your own box, so you can customize it if you want to send one to your son and give him all chocolates, or if you wanted to send someone teas and make it more of like a self-care package. You can
love
do
that.
that too. So
Wow.
definitely check out bouquetbar.com.
So cute. So we have so much going on, you guys. We've got the red carpet we're covering out in Rock to Recovery. We've got all kinds of things,
weekend.
like so many things going
Yeah,
on. Here
yeah.
we go.
I know.
Yeah, I know. Tomorrow we're kicking off the Emmy weekend at the Ecolux Gifting Lounge at the Beverly Hilton. So we're really excited about that. You'll have to tune in to the show on Monday to see all the goodies that we're going to get. Special thanks to Melinda Manos for the invitation.
So that's the future. And
That's
I
the
think
future.
What's the past? We got a little rewind, right?
What happened yesterday on Good Morning LaLaLand? Let's take a look.
And one of my favorite quotes is, the two most important days in a person's life are the day they're born and the day they discover why they're born, the purpose, right? Yeah, and I think that is one of the greatest benefits of meditation, is that it lets you tune in and tap into that deeper knowing inside of you.
So true.
I know.
Yeah.
But then they also have Cheetahs, which is a strip club, but not fully.
I haven't been there.
They have drag shows at the strip club too, which I find
that's
fun.
fun, yeah.
Just to mix it up. And there's also, I'm having a brain fart.
Well, okay, so there's also this one owned by
she
Mark
knows,
and Johnny.
she knows.
She
I do
knows,
know.
she knows, yeah.
I admitted I'm a 1.5.
Oh, Jumbo's Clown Room. Jumbo's Clown Room, that's it.
Technicality.
Yeah,
Get you that.
there's this great spot in disguise is this like super classy Parisian cocktail spot, and the next thing you know, at about 11 p.m., the ceiling opened up and this golden cage drops down. It's called Pourvu.
Yeah.
And this woman who's like just beautifully dressed in like sheer and sequins, and like all of a sudden just starts taking it off. And it was just, but it was an incredible performance.
I wanted the dream, you know. I wanted all the income without all the headaches.
Wow, don't we all?
But
Yeah.
that goes to your, sorry. You have to talk about your tattoos real quick on that.
Sure. This one is, they're written in Thai. This one says commitment, and this one is freedom. And freedom to me meant the ability to work with who I want, when I want, where I want. And today I have that, which is super nice, and I work with some great people. It took me a long time to get there. It was an 8.5-year journey for me of really grinding it out.
Yeah, it's really interesting too, because I've even started like, okay, just get yourself ready first. Before you get all the other things done, get yourself ready first. Because I found that I was getting all these things done and then I was never ready on time. Seems super simple, right? Well, I'm just now at 30 years old figuring this out
But the
for
most
myself.
profound
Get
things
ready
are
first.
simple, Jez. The most profound things are simple.
But really, it changed the whole way I was dealing with my day, because it was like, I am now ready for anything, so bring it on, rather than being like, I'm never ready for anything and look at all the stuff I still have to do. Total different mind shift.
Yeah. Well, either way, you always make it look good.
Wake up, show up, shine, baby.
So great.
Awesome guess.
So beautiful. And the filter's looking good yesterday.
Yeah.
Today, my shirt looks like I have huge boobs. I'm a little bit.
Feeling comfortable?
Wake up, show up, shine. So, Erin, what is the question of the day?
Question of the day. Okay, so what happens is I try and keep track. Like, I get a lot of questions between being the Boss Babe community, doing the podcast, whatever. I have miscellaneous questions that come in every day, and I please, if you're going to write a question, write an actual circumstance and what that is, because it's better when you hear it from a story. But there's a common theme that's coming in. Men in relationships trying to figure out how to deal with their girlfriends being emotionally reactive. And I know we've all dealt with this, and I know it's not just, and I was thinking, it's not just in traditional relationship, but we deal with this with our family members, we deal with our friends, we deal with it in work, we deal with it, and we've all been on both sides of the road. So I want to talk about how to deal with people who are very emotionally charged. We've all experienced feeling like we're on eggshells, and I know that my boyfriend has probably experienced that at some points in time. So I want to talk about, how do we deal with that? How do we deal with when people are reactively charged, when you feel like you can't say anything, you're afraid, is it going to be fine, or are they going to react? Like, how do we deal with this?
Well, you go straight to Instagram and you post about it, or Facebook, or Twitter, right? That's what most people end up doing. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think the first step is really recognizing that you are not responsible for anyone else's reactions. This is absolutely key, and it really transformed my interactions in some of my very personal relationships, because I was holding back from what I wanted to do or what I wanted to say because I was afraid of making somebody upset. I was afraid of disappointing them, because in my world, if I disappointed them, if I upset them, then they wouldn't love me, right? That was the reaction that would cause. But then really, when you step back and you do your self-work, like Erin says, you realize you're not responsible for any of these people's reactions, right?
Right.
As long as you live your truth and you maintain your integrity, all you have to do is open up that throat chakra and say what you gotta say.
Yeah, I love that point, Jez, and I completely agree that you are completely responsible for your delivery, but you're not responsible at all for how somebody receives that information.
Absolutely. I mean, Rob is absolutely a genius at that. It's like, sometimes when you have something really hard to say and you don't know how to say it, call Rob. He'll give you the exact
45
right way.
days later, we will massage it into something that's perfect.
And it always starts with, I love that you say this, and you're so good at, like, always lead with the positive, right? And then slide it in there.
It's such a good point. But Jez, you guys both are such master communicators, and you have sort of different approaches and styles. And I have found, though, that is one of the best things you can do, is sort of lead with positivity, lead with warmth and rapport. Even sort of along with that, I think validating and normalizing where people are, and doing that through just sort of non-judgmental, non-interruptive listening is everything. Like, most of the work is done by just taking that very meditative approach when you're listening. You don't have to say a whole lot. In fact, the less you say, sometimes the better off you are. Because when a person's really, really upset and you respond, even sometimes when you respond with love, they can't hear it with loving ears, and so they come from this very reactive place. So you're often better off just really listening, letting a person know that you heard them, repeating back what you heard in your own words, letting them know that if you were in their shoes, if you had lived their life, you would feel exactly the way they're feeling now. And then sort of letting that be for a moment.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah.
From a subconscious standpoint, it always comes down to suppressing one's emotions. So if we're not able to express our emotions and we're trying to, you know, whatever it may be, trying to be something that we're not, or we're not living in alignment with our truth, whatever it is, we'll often become reactive because like we try and suppress and it comes out, like shoots out in spurts. And so number one, I think starting with compassion always, because we never know what's really going on for somebody. If we feel like we're walking on eggshells with somebody, there's something going on, and it might not have anything to do with you. It might, whatever that is, but just starting with compassion for sure. I think that the job for every one of us is to stay in peace, like you said. And so, like, if you're feeling like you're walking on eggshells, if you're doing whatever, the number one job is not to focus on them, it's to focus on the self. Stay in peace. Sometimes that means putting boundaries. Maybe that means, you know, getting them out of your life if it's like, you know, someone who's very dysfunctional. And then number three, I think, is the law of correlation. The reality is that anybody who is not communicating and is reacting in a way, they're going to start to feel like they're walking on eggshells with people around them because people aren't able to communicate. So it's important for everyone. Communication is the solvent. Communication is a must. And anywhere in your life where you feel like you can't have a full conversation and talk really about anything, it's good. Everyone's going to feel like they're on eggshells.
Yeah.
So it's very important as teams, as families, as lovers, as husband and wife, whatever that is, it's important to have great communication. Communication is always the solvent.
It's true.
It's really interesting though, because I think sometimes, as we mentioned earlier, you find yourself being the reactive one. Even though you're like, oh, I'm master at communicating, blah, blah, blah. And then you're like, oh, eyes wide open. It's not them, it's me, right?
Yeah.
So what do you do when you find yourself being the reactive one, Rob?
You practice when it's easy, so you don't practice right in the middle of the conversation. Like when you're in the most heated argument or debate ever, that's probably not the best time to begin practicing the prioritization of peace, right? So the meditation exercise that Camilla mentioned, one of our guests, is just fantastic, but you want to practice peace when it's easy. And then when you get into the middle of a really heated debate or argument or discussion, it's going to be a lot easier to, like, you know, shift into second gear or neutral, whatever it is, and find that peace a little bit more effortlessly.
Yeah, somebody gave me a really interesting exercise once. They said, benchmark this feeling, right? And that was the term. So I literally created a bench in my head. So I'm like on this little Parisian bench, and I have my umbrella, and it can be raining all around me, but I'm fine. Here I'm, you know, really cute on my little bench, and I'm safe, and it doesn't matter. I'm not going to react to all the rain around me.
It's such a beautiful point, and like with clients, I know Erin and I do sort of something similar, I think, which is I help them just become more and more aware of where they are between 0 and 10 on that emotional scale. So 10 being absolutely stressed, ready to completely lose it, 0 being a complete peace. And when they get to a 3 or 4, that's the time to start dialing it back as quickly as you can. Once you get to a 6 or a 7, you're just too late. You're already,
you know. Yeah, it's funny because I always think that's like the same answer for everything, and that's what maybe is kind of the pitfalls of spirituality, because I feel like there's always the same answer for anything, whether you're dealing with emotions, someone in your life, finances, health. There's always 2 answers in my opinion, or 3 answers really, which is one, to go so deeply into meditation, clearing the mind and getting into that peace and having all the answers kind of done onto you. Or 2 is prayer and really directing the mind and declaring whatever it is that you're really committed to, and things just fall out. People fall out, people fall in, whatever, when you declare. And then 3 is to either find a coach, find a mentor, find somebody that can actually do that treatment with you.
And at the core, they're all identical. Prayer, meditation, self, guru, coach, or God, they're all one at the deepest level.
Great point.
But if you are a little lost like me sometimes, and you're like, I don't even know what to declare at this point. That's when you can pray, that's when you can ask Spirit, that's when you can meditate, or whatever it is that you do, and just say, what do I need to do to receive that clarity? Right?
Yes.
Because you don't have to have all the answers. It's great to be like, I declare this. Sometimes you just don't know, and that's okay too. So there's a way of approaching it.
And in fact, Jeslyn, that's such a powerful point. In fact, I think that's the highest teaching. The highest teaching is not to know anything in that particular situation. You don't need to know anything. In fact, if you don't know anything, you're probably in a much better position to hear the person that you're interacting with, and to also not try to fix or solve or change the situation or the other person. And that's where the change happens, from that place of sort of not knowing, right? So like one of my favorite sort of expressions or quotes is from the Book of Faith, and essentially the author says something like, stop thinking, stop talking, and end all your problems today. You know, when your mind is quiet, no problem.
We're done. Goodbye.
We're done. Did I nail that one?
You
I've
nailed
worked on
it,
that for a
Rob.
while, for only 20 years.
Book number 5.
The point
authors.
is that we all have work to do, and if you spot it, you got it, you know, and it's a spiritual practice for all of us, and it's a practice as in all areas of our life to get more and more into the truth. So I know it's always about me, honestly. Like, you can point the finger all day, and then you got to go, okay, I got work to do, always.
Fair enough.
Right?
On that note, I'm looking forward to talking to our guest experts, so stay tuned. We'll be back with more on Good Morning La La Land.
Hello, Los Angeles. I am your host and producer, Alex Worley, filming inside Focus TV's West Hollywood studio. Welcome to Empowerista, a show dedicated to highlighting female trailblazers and empowering you to turn your barriers into breakthroughs.
Hey guys, I'm Amy Packrat.
And I'm Justin Walter.
And this is What's Good, the show that's dedicated to positive, uplifting news from all over the world.
We are live.
Live from Los Angeles. Welcome to Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
Hi, I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jez Moyer. This is Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Now also available on Apple TV and Roku. It's going to be a Good Morning La La Land.
Welcome to the very first episode of Sadie Says. I'm your host, Natalie Sadie. Welcome, Daniel Hall. First episode.
I didn't even realize it was your first episode.
Hi, welcome to Dr. Erin Show. It's been a while since we've been here, and I'm so excited because we're going to be talking about discovering your purpose and calling, and I have Elle Russ in the house. Thank you so much for coming all the way down here today.
Hi everyone, and welcome back. I'm your host, Tara Tanner, and this is the Model Mama Show. I'm so excited about our guest today. We have Chelsea Cannell-Briggs, who this is literally a blast from the past, you guys.
It's true.
We haven't seen each other since we worked together at Fox Sports.
Hello and welcome back to the show. I am excited and delighted because we have an amazing guest. So thank you, Janie, for joining us.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me. I'm a fan of both of you.
I'm Jez Moyer, and this is LA Unscripted, and I'd love to welcome to my show Mr. Jacques Silverstein. Thank you so much for being here.
It's my great pleasure to be with you.
This is somebody who went from super nerd to supermodel, so I'm so excited. Let's talk to Anna.
Yes.
Anna, you were the winner of our very first Viva Glam model search.
Yeah, you guys were actually my very first photo shoot.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Reshape. I'm Allie Landry, and I am so thrilled to have our next guest. So I am so grateful that you are here with us at Reshape today.
Thank you, Allie. I'm so happy to see you. And you couldn't look more gorgeous if you tried.
Today's guest is best known for being the fitness guru on 6 seasons of The Biggest Loser. He's a New York Times best-selling author. Dolvet. Dolvet, we don't even say Quince anymore. It's just Dolvet. It's
like one name.
Dolvet.
You are tuning in to Slay with Rachel McCourt, and I have a fabulous guest. In studio with me is Liza Glukoff. She's just been named executive producer of programming at Awesomeness TV. We have perfect lighting. We've got some Spa Girl vodka in case we get a little crazy.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Millennial Life. I'm your host, Laura Odegaard, and today we are joined by the very beautiful former Miss California and now a TV host, Natasha Martinez. I'm so happy that you're here.
I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Hello and welcome to The Joe Show. I'm Josephine, and here on our couch today is none other than the heartthrob of Shahs of Sunset, Shervin.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming in today.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Ren Wood Show. I am so excited for my guest today. I have the beautiful Bianca Hayes. Thank you so much for being here, Bianca. Give me a hug.
For this episode of Purpose, I'm your host, Brittany Zonker. I'll see you next time.
Hola, yo soy Gina Moreno y soy una reportera aquí en Los Ángeles. Para mí, mi pasión es para decir las historias de las personas que han luchado lo imposible. Todas las entrevistas aquí en Focus TV.
Hi, I'm Gina Moreno, a reporter here in Los Angeles, and my passion is to tell people's stories, the stories of people who have accomplished the impossible. For all the interviews, make sure to watch Focus TV.
Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We are so excited to have Tiffany Carter, who is a former NBC and CBS journalist. She knows the drill, and she is a business coach. Hi, honey. How are you?
Welcome to the show.
See you again. Thanks, guys, for having me.
What I
Really appreciate
love about you is that you're a business coach for the non-tech savvy person. Me. Because for a lot of us, the tech thing just does not come easily. As much as I can watch YouTube videos or tutorials or whatever it is like pulling teeth for me. It just doesn't work. Where do we even begin?
And it is for most people, and a lot of people think like, oh, I'm this age, and that's why I don't know. You have to be, 20 years old in order to understand tech. It's just not true. There's so many platforms. I mean, you could have 10 different programs. I mean, think of all the things. There's Dropbox, there's YouTube, there's Facebook, there's Instagram. I could go on and on. It's overwhelming, it's too much. They constantly are changing. So I would give you like my top 2 tips for people who aren't tech savvy, or where I say tech gives you a rash. It gives me
We're just talking about this on the break, literally.
I mean, it is. So I would say just focus on 3 platforms. So you don't have to do all the things. It's not worth it.
Thank you.
Don't do all the things. And if something is really that intimidating to you, or any business owner, for example, like Facebook advertising is very, very complicated, that platform behind the scenes. I just happen to have done it since its inception, so it's not as intimidating to me. Get help. Ask someone for help. Don't try to figure it out on your own. It's exhausting.
It's interesting though when you're trying to run your business or your brand and be an entrepreneur, think like a businesswoman. Sometimes we get caught up in not wanting to ask for help because we think we should be able to do this all ourselves.
I tried it that way. I tried it that way.
So true, me too.
I tried it that way for 5 years.
There is like a learning curve, don't you think? It's like, it's very frustrating at first, very challenging, and then it's really that 10,000 hours. You could become a major expert if you want. But I do agree. I think that women were coming into our own around business. And of course, we've got to deal with the mindset. We've got to deal with the technology. We've got to deal with all this. Do you deal with other things with your clients?
Usually what is holding people back, like 99% of the time, is a mindset around money. And they're not even necessarily aware of it. It's a belief that they picked up from childhood. Maybe their dad always said, like, money doesn't grow on trees. Or
there's never enough money.
Right, or even when you go to the store as a kid with your parent and it's like, we can't afford that, we can't afford that. That gets programmed inside in our subconscious. We're not even aware of it. So I have to do that now before anything else. And I'm talking celebrities, multimillionaires, people who are worth 8 figures, people who are in debt. It's all of us have it. I had it. I had the same thing. The one I picked up from my mom, who's a hardcore entrepreneur, went to Harvard, was you have to kill yourself and give an arm and a leg in order to be successful. That was her line. So what do you think I did?
Sleep. I'm going to sleep. Too much.
Yeah, I almost. But I mean, I caused myself health issues from working so much because that's what I was taught.
And before that, I mean, you did NBC, CBS, all this stuff. We have a little bit of footage of your past life.
I didn't even look at it.
Let's take a look at it. Oh my gosh, look at you. So
when you see that, what do you?
I think those are amazing early 2000 eyebrows. You had to get rid of all of them.
Yeah, forget learning technology. Learning how to put your eyebrows, like painting them on, is you got to have a PhD to do that, right?
Oh my gosh, that's great. That's so funny.
So amazing.
No, I mean those were, those were good times. It gave a great, foundation for the work I do now, my communication skills.
So tell us what's the big takeaway for you after doing all this? You've seen and been around so many incredible situations, whatever. What's the takeaway for you? What would you tell women if, in business and in life, coming away from this?
The biggest thing is low self-worth equals low net worth. It really comes down to our self-worth, and we might not even be aware of it. Everything from who our friendships are, from the jobs we accept, the behavior we accept and tolerate, whether we think we deserve, we're worthy of making money easily. That was mine I had to overcome. So it comes down to working on that self-worth. It's not maybe the sexiest answer. It's probably the hardest work I've ever done. But what happens after that is the gates they open up.
How do you help people replace those limiting beliefs around money or around success or around abundance? Is there anything you would recommend that people start doing?
There's a lot of cliche talk, like do a money mantra, which those are great. I'm all for that. I give more of a practical approach. I have more of an edgy type, blunt, Chicago-style personality to me. So what I would say is replace with facts. Those are myths. So we do a lot of questioning to get behind, to uncover those buried beliefs, and we label them. They are not true. So I say, how is that true? Is this actually true that you have to give an arm and a leg in order to be successful in this world? Is it true? And we start breaking that down. Then we replace it with, what are the facts? So we deal with facts, and our brain likes that. Our brain likes facts.
I love that. It really is the sort of essence of cognitive behavior therapy, really. You've done a great job of sort of simplifying that for people so it's accessible and they can actually begin applying it right away.
Yep. Yeah, it's dealing with facts. And then our brain, when it starts going to that worn groove of, oh my God, I have to work more, or I'm not going to hit, I'm not going to maintain my millionaire lifestyle, or whatever that is. Pause, pause, pause. And then now you have new language to come up. Is that true? No, it's not true. What is true?
And isn't that why it's so important for someone like you, for another woman to see you and go, oh, if she can do it, I can do it? Because I think there's people that are deeply into doing the subconscious work or the spiritual work. And there's some people who are like, that's a little woo-woo, let me find the facts. And they can find examples, and you're a great example for people. So what would you say that what have you overcome so that you can tell people, if I can do this, you can do this? What have you had to overcome that mindset, of course? What else?
That'd be a really long show. It's honey, that's a long show.
Let's go ahead and air that long show.
Yeah, but I think the cliff notes make everyone really feel like it's accessible, that if there's something that they can relate to or take away from, because a lot of times when they see media personalities and people on camera, they think, oh, well, you've had it figured out all along.
Oh, so far from it. I'm open about my story for that very reason. I had to get to a point where I was comfortable, but I came from a very abusive childhood. But on the outside, my childhood looked amazing. It looked almost Kardashian-like, so to speak. We were the second wealthiest family in the neighborhood.
Yeah, they're really functional. They're
right.
really functional.
But on the outside, right? On the outside. So I had the nice clothes, I had the ballet classes, the whole thing. But I was being abused. And I was abused for many, many, many years, which is why I had no self-worth. And I covered it up with a lot of other things, which is what people do, not conscious of it.
Naturally.
I covered it up with extreme exercise, which is a form of an eating disorder. When it goes to that point, workaholism, I'm talking 7 days, 12 hours a day, and relationship to relationship to relationship. I was never without dating somebody because I couldn't be alone. God forbid I was alone with my thoughts. Woo! All that stuff would come up, right?
Right. Who's got time for that?
Who has time for it? And I tried my damnedest to not have to ever be still. And that's where the miracle is in the stillness.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm so sorry that you went through that.
Thank you.
And thank you for just being a light for what's possible for all of us. Yeah. Intense.
I'm happy it happened. I know that might sound weird for people who've not maybe processed that, but I believe that it happened to me so that I can help other people and inspire other people and let them know, like, it's possible. It really is. It's possible to have the life you want, to have inner peace, and to have amazing self-worth. Like, I love myself. I really genuinely love myself. 5 years ago, I hated myself. But on the outside, you would have thought, this girl's so confident, you know, she's on camera.
Isn't it cool when you get to that place and you're like, yeah, I really do love myself. It sounds selfish, it sounds stupid, but you're like, oh yeah, even when I'm having a bad day, even when I'm not my best self, like I still love myself. So cool, huh?
It's the best, gift that I gave myself.
When was the tipping point for that for you?
And everyone has one. I call it, you know, like the rock bottom,
Yeah, like
as
the
they
inflection
say.
point. Yeah.
I actually literally burned myself out and caused myself a physical problem where, you know, without going into too much detail, my body wouldn't produce a key hormone that you need to sustain life. I burned out like my fight or flight response, so to speak, from all of my extreme exercise, extreme work. Everything was extreme with me. And I literally had no choice but to be still. And that's what God, universe did. It made me be still, because otherwise I wouldn't have done it. I would have kept running my whole life that way. So I was physically taken down, like couch bound, like I ran my company from my couch.
It's so profound because it speaks to the intelligence of life, the universe, God, doesn't it? The higher intelligence that sort of led you back to a place where you could sort of discover these like infinite riches of peace and happiness and even abundance in your life. But it had to come through sort of illness and extremism.
It had to. Yeah. For me, and we can see many others where it had to. I'm so filled with self-will, and I wanted to avoid being still so much. Like I said, I would have kept going. It had to almost flatline me for me to so to speak, like see the light and thank God I'm not in charge.
Yeah.
So, so we talked a bit, because I was on your podcast as well, and you told me about how when you were a journalist that you would like cry coming home, like I just can't talk about the terrible things going on anymore. And what was that? You made a transition to say, I'm not doing this anymore. Tell us a little bit about that.
I'm glad you asked that. A lot of people go, why would you have left, a TV job? I was at CBS at the time doing, one of the morning shows that lasts like 800 hours. It was like,
started at like 2 a.m.
It was like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. 2 a.m. was like 4, far as I was actually like on set during 9/11 as well. So it wasn't exactly the most, positive time, but as we know, conventional news is filled with so much negativity. What we were taught and what is still taught in that market is if it bleeds, it leads. And I mean, it was so negative. And then when I would interview these crushing stories of horrible stories of, someone's daughter being gang raped, just these one after another. I've seen burned bodies on the freeway. I'm a sensitive soul. And to take all that in day after day after day, plus the pressure of, for myself, really having self-worth, right? But putting on a front, like I have it all together, in front of who knows how many, hundreds of thousands of people watching. It was too much for me. I would cry. I would cry on my way home. It was too much. I mean, then we'd have like that conventional fluff story. Be like, oh, the frog that saved the cat's life. Or, you know what I mean? And I always tried to get assigned that story. And it's like, it'd be like, why do you want that story? It's like not in the, as they say, the A block, Yeah. Why do you want that story? Well, gosh, that's the nicest story.
I want to share some good news.
And that's what you guys are doing here. And so when I met this lovely woman, I was like, this has been needed for so long.
Thank you.
You guys have a dream job.
Yes, we do.
You do.
We really do. I went to school for broadcast journalism, and that's what they always taught us, if it bleeds, it leads. And I graduated, and I knew I will never work a day in news. I can't do it. That doesn't speak to me. I want to have an opportunity, a platform for people like you to share their stories, but I just couldn't go down that path.
I turned off news in 2008. It was so intense. It was so gnarly. Everyone was losing everything to their name, and I just thought, okay, I'm gonna decide. I'm gonna survive. I'm gonna like focus on what I can create. And first thing, if I'm gonna do that, I gotta turn off the news. I haven't turned it back on since in 10 years.
Good for you. I don't watch the news either, which is a lot of people find that strange, but it's so negative.
Oh, well, the news will always find you anyway. Right?
That's what I do. Like if the world's ending.
There's been a very interesting shift that I've noticed because, you know, I've got this hour drive to work and I flip through the radio stations because I'm old school like that. And now there's a lot of like, hey, call in and tell us your happy news. And the rock stations, on the pop stations, hey, what are you celebrating today? Who can we call and say congratulations to? And I'm so excited because it does seem like there is a shift happening, at least here in Los Angeles.
I see it, and you guys are a pivotal part of that, and I hope that, you know, that just continues. I don't really see what good comes out of focusing on all those negative stories, but I do know a lot of people get a charge out of it. There's an actual, you know, a high off of, oh, can you believe that happened? And there's an accident here. And I was caught up in that when I was in the news business myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you. How can you not be? You know, there's an adrenaline rush in that, and it's interesting. People have these conversations around it, but it really is an incredible opportunity for us to be here and to be here with you and to celebrate what's good in the world and what the difference you're making, and women empowering women in the time that we're in right now. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Of course.
So how can people work with you? What does that look like?
So for people to work with me, I love and seeing that transformation. So they can just go to my Instagram, Project Me with Tiffany, listen to my podcast. This is my business, Project Me of giving back. I have another company that helps fund this company, and this is time for me to give back all that was given to me. And it fills me up so much, more than any amount of money could. It's easy for me to say because I do really well with my other company, but it's the truth. It fills me more than millions could fill me. So that's the best way for people to reach out, is just go to Instagram, and if someone's like really ready to do that work, I'm here, you know. Right. When what do they say? When the student's ready, the teacher appears.
Yes.
I love it.
Woo! I love that.
Absolutely.
I love that. Well, it's such an honor and blessing, and shout out to Badassery Magazine also that we were both at.
Yes.
And just thank you so much for such an inspirational story. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hi everyone, my name is Victoria Simone, associate producer here at Focus TV Network, America's first live streaming daily talk show network with my favorite girl.
I'm Jessica Lee, producer and co-host of Good Morning LaLaLand. So Victoria, tell me what happened this week in Focus.
So we had the Erin Show
with the hilarious Ben Glebe.
Yeah, we had Mama Tix
with Harley Ruda, the potential next congressman of California.
Oh. We had Dr. Nina actually in the house.
It was an incredible show. Meredith O'Connor was here. You've definitely seen her on YouTube. And we also had Cole Woods, the modelpreneur.
We have 2 new exciting shows. Some of them you may know from the Bachelor franchise. We had Josh Murray, Naked Chats. Yes,
and Josh Murray.
We had Demario Jackson in the hot seat.
We're so excited to welcome Lindsay Palis to the Focus family. She's got a new show, Eyes Up Here, and had a very special guest, Drama.
Speaking of Lindsay Palis, she was on Good Morning LaLaLand.
Yes, she was. We had a week full of very special guests. We also had a reality star from Real Housewives of Orange County, Gretchen Rossi.
Another Real Housewives of Orange County, we had Peggy Tanos.
And the jet guy, Hunter Gaylor. He is a man with a plan and a plane.
We had a special episode of Good Morning LaLaLand.
We did. It was co-hosted by Dr. Sandra Lee. You may know her as Dr. Pimple Popper. She brought in a slew of amazing industry guests. I'm so excited for you to take a look.
Have a divine day.
It's going to be a Good Morning LaLaLand. And of course, we have a lot of fun here at Focus TV. We have a blooper reel hosted by Brittany Zonka.
The change is starting happening. It's nope, bad take. Nope, nope. Oh, sorry, I messed up. I was talking to the guest. It's a little fast. I bet you don't have one of those in your phone.
Right.
Nope. Andy's like, damn it, I'm doing things over here. Usually I'm a one-hit wonder with my videos, but right now, how many takes are we on, Andy? Woo! Okay. I think it's maybe take 12. Nope, messed up one word at the end. It's gonna drive me insane. Listen, I've never done so many takes in my life on one video. That was a good one. Good? You like that one? Are we gonna do a blooper reel? Andy's like, you're already on all of them.
Thank you so much for tuning into This Week in Focus.
We're hashtag community powered.
Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. I'm so excited to welcome to the show Ms. Camille Montgomery. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
So she's been part of the Focus TV family and community through Sick Toys. If you remember, we had David and some of the filmmakers on earlier this year. So tell us a little bit about your journey with the film.
Yeah, well, I auditioned for the film and I didn't hear back for a month, so I mean, any audition.
Come on. This was a shoo-in.
I know. So it was like, anytime you audition after a few days, you just have to let it go. Otherwise, you're waiting a long time. So when I heard back, I was super excited because I read the script and it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's just, the role itself is so dynamic. To play this 23-year-old girl who is like a kid at the same time, who has this arrested development. So that was so fun to explore. And once I met David Del Rio, the director, and then J.P. Burkhart, David Gunning, the producers, and they were also in the film, I just fell in love with everyone. They're the nicest people. David Del Rio just like kept the energy up on set and was singing, and it was just like such a magical experience. Especially with indie film, you really become a family. You're all working together and it's a smaller set, and it was just such a great experience.
It's absolutely community powered. We have a look at the trailer. Let's take a peek.
Oh, cool.
I'm glad you called me back.
What's going on? Everything okay?
This is gonna sound crazy. It's Jason. I haven't heard from him since yesterday morning. Could you try to call him for me?
I doubt he's gonna pick up my phone call. I'll just go straight to his place. Jason! You in there? Nothing's out of place. His computer was still there.
What about his car?
That wasn't there. My name's Roy. I think you know my friend Jason.
We were supposed to go on a date the other day, but he blew me off.
Are you Roy?
What's your favorite part about Christmas?
I love decorating, stringing up the lights, hanging the wreaths, and putting the ornaments on the tree. And I love the music. I love dancing and singing and making cookies. Every year, my brother takes me out and I pick out my present. And then he always gets it for me.
He seems like a really good brother.
The best.
And it's just been the two of you since you were 6 years old?
Oh, we had an uncle watch us for a while. I didn't like him. But he's gone now, so it's just me and Edward.
I don't know if I could have gone through something like that. You must be really strong.
I like you.
We have a guest coming tonight. I don't want to have to gag you.
Hello? The house is over here. I thought I heard something. Thought maybe Amelia was in there. She's inside.
I just thought he might want to play with my Christmas present.
I just want to go home. As long as I give him medicine, you'll be able to play with him a while longer.
Did you take your medicine?
Oh,
Wow.
that's intense.
Very
intense.
Goosebumps. Oh my gosh.
So, oftentimes we've talked about how acting is almost like one of the highest forms in this life, because you get to take on all the different characters and realize that we're just taking on a character in this life too. So what's that experience been like for you?
It's been so incredible because I think when you're an actor, you have to constantly work on yourself as well and become the best person that you can be and really like drop in and find your truth, especially to play all these different roles. And we are so many different people at one point in the day. We are playing all these different roles. We're different when we talk to our moms than when we're sitting here. We're different at the grocery store. So I think for me, it's been about tuning into these different parts of myself and trying not to judge. This role was so easy to judge. Look at her and think, oh, she's crazy. But the more I read, the more I realized she's had this very traumatic upbringing, her and her brother. And she is a little girl because of her past trauma. That's what happens. When we go through traumatic experiences, we either block things out or we have to find a way to cope. And that was her way to cope, was staying almost 5 years old mentally. So I tuned in more to that rather than judging her, because I think we all have that. We have these childlike qualities within us that we still keep, or they just pop up in our lives. And I think too, the older we get, the more we feel like we're still teenagers or we're still kids.
So where do you tap into that place where that's a genuine little child, like that childlike, beautiful energy versus the child that's a reactive child that's been hurt and wounded? How do you differentiate that when you're going into a character?
Well, with Amelia, it was almost one and the same. I don't think she didn't come from a place where she wanted to hurt anyone. It's just what she learned. She had a traumatic upbringing where there was abuse, and her parents died when she was really young, her and her brother. And so I don't necessarily think that she is very innocent. That's what's so interesting about this movie to me and this role, is that she essentially is a victim, but she's also the predator. And you can look at this and easily think, oh, she's the bad guy, essentially. But it's harder to define that in this film, I think, because it is a girl, and she is a victim, and she is innocent. And I think that's especially where, even with the Me Too movement, to realize that there is this gray area. It's not black and white. It's not, we have to look at the stories in the in-between spaces. And I think that's essentially what Sick for Toys does. It flips, yeah, it flips
even with our
story.
criminal system, we could say the same thing, right? It's not like it's them and pointing the finger, like it's a cultural, this is a cultural issue. They just happen to be like the symptom of something that's happening much deeper. That's so cool. I love acting, it's so profound.
Yeah, oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Is it ever hard for you to shake off a role once you've...
Yes, it definitely is. Especially when it's a more painful, traumatic experience and when you really delve in to the different stories. Even with Sick for Toys, I do this training. I help police officers and detectives basically help them train so that they can learn how to deal with domestic violence situations.
Wow.
Yeah, so that even helped me in regards to Sick for Toys. Just seeing that trauma that happens at home, behind the scenes, that so many people don't know about.
And you work with another woman out of Utah that saved a lot of women with domestic.
Yes.
How did you get involved? And like, did you have domestic violence? Is it something you just felt like this is where you want to give back in life, or?
I haven't experienced that, but for me, one of my purposes is really to help give people a voice and to align with their truth. I think that's what acting is essentially.
We're with soul sisters
I
over
know,
here.
right? Totally, we all are on that same journey. But I think that's what we're all trying to do. We're all trying to find meaning, and we're all trying to find our truth. And in yoga, I'm a huge yoga person. It's called Dharma. It's your purpose. And it's something that's just within you. And I think especially in LA and just our society, it's hard. It's easy to get lost and very easy to lose ourselves. I loved what Tiffany was saying about just dropping back in and just everything she had to say. I was like, I love you.
So
She's
true,
amazing.
So, true. So where can people find you? Obviously, they can find the movie at the different festivals right now, right?
Yeah, it's at Shriekfest, October 7th, like I said. You can find me on Instagram, _Camille Montgomery, on Twitter _C Montgomery, and on Facebook as well under my name. So
thank you so much for
Thank
everything.
you.
Yep.
Thanks so
Appreciate
much for
you.
having me.
Yeah. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more in Good Morning La La Land. Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. It is about to get hot in here. Kelly Russo is here guiding us through the ALS Hot Pepper Challenge.
Yes, I'm so sorry, but this is going to be fun. It's for a good cause. So first, you pick a hot pepper of your choice, then you eat it on camera. Honestly, this is, this is an underfunded disease. With money, we can cure it. That we're doing this, right?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Ready?
Oh, it's hot.
No, it's getting bad.
It's getting bad.
Make your donations. We're challenging you, LALALAND, to give back to ALS. Stay tuned tomorrow for more #FridayFeels. We are America's first live streaming daily talk show. It's going to be in Los Angeles. Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We are celebrating #Wealth Wednesday in house today. We've got Miss Annalyn McCord and an angel himself, Mr. Matt Thompson. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
We had the honor of going to one of the Tech Post Angel events, and it was truly one of the most inspiring things I've done in Los Angeles. I feel like I'm in entrepreneur night school.
The Tech Post Angels is sort of like Shark Tank. We'll have a big auditorium, and then the entrepreneur will go up on stage and pitch their idea for 10 minutes. And then at the end of that, we'll decide, do we put in $500,000 or do we let's show them to the door?
So I've got a few ideas.
Yeah. Good timing.
We're really at the very beginning of a huge tidal wave, I believe, in the startup and angel
It's
funding.
huge.
So,
Hulu and Netflix and Maker Studios and Full Screen and all these great...
Focus TV.
Focus
right?
TV.
Tell you guys that I am a huge fan of the show, and I think that you're by far the best looking, most beautiful morning show I have ever seen. I mean,
And you're
gorgeous.
so
And no, seriously, I mean, the impeccable dress.
Right.
You guys are, and it's such an intelligent show. It's a show that inspires others, and I love your conversation, manifesting, making people feel good. It's really inspirational, and I'm really excited to see everything that happens with this.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I want to
Thank you.
echo Kevin's thoughts as well, because it is wonderful to see such positivity on TV. And like you were saying, relationships, it's your circle of influence, that starts your day off right, that, influences everything that you do. So I absolutely love the content, and just keep doing what you're doing.
Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We are #community powered here at Focus TV Fan, and I'm gonna cry. Today we're saying goodbye to Gina, one of our Focus TV family members. She's been an incredible associate producer, and we just want to say thank you so much for all of your work, your dedication to us. We want to wish you the best on your journey. Tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, first of all, stop crying. I saw these balloons and I was like, oh, balloons. Ross, like, they're for you. I was like,
We brought them.
I will cherish these.
But Gina, you are, first of all, you're so entertaining, very, very talented. She really should be a stand-up comedian. And she's also a really great producer. She's like, okay, this is what we're doing, da-da-da. She gets it done. I mean, I love you very, very much.
Yeah.
Erin, you
Amazing.
can come with me in my suitcase, I swear. There's room for you. You're so tiny. There's room for you.
Gina and I actually met before this Focus venture even happened. We crossed paths on a red carpet, and she has always just been an incredible light and incredible hard worker. And I'm so excited for what's next for you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
So tell us.
Well, first of all, I want to say that you guys are the most amazing people. I think Focus TV is the best network that exists in all of the world. I'm not even going to go America, the world. Because it's these three incredible people who make it here. So I want to talk about you guys and how amazing you guys are, and I just hope that for Focus TV, it's going to go onto the huge networks where it already deserves. It's already there in my mind. I'm just sad I can't see the whole process for the things.
Oh, you can see. You can tune in, right? Don't try to escape that.
Guys, I can always tune in. It doesn't
Live
matter.
streaming everywhere.
Yeah. It doesn't matter where I am.
We just want to hold an open door policy. Because we know there's many things that happen in life, and you are always, always, always welcome back here. And we just love you.
Yeah, Gina, I mean, it's truly, we feel infinitely blessed by not just what you do, but who you are. And I mean that. Seriously, you have such a pure, generous spirit, and I just absolutely love you, and I really appreciate everything that you've done for us, really, and continue to do for us. And I mostly want to focus on how excited we are for the next chapter in your life. Really? So congratulations.
Erin, I'm sorry there's no more room for you. I'm removing my suitcase.
You squeeze me in there? I can squeeze in there. I'll go on a fast for like the next 10 days.
One of my favorite Gina moments here at Focus TV, there's two. One when Blue Moon, the mini horse, came to the show.
My gosh.
And she interviewed Blue Moon, and Blue Moon played the xylophone. That was great.
That was a great moment.
That was great.
Let's do an opening box. We know people like opening the box, so let's.
It's an unboxing.
And what about?
That is
I don't know how
We
you
have a
open it
little
all the
sweet
way,
treat
but-
for you. Or what about the time that Gina raced on the scooter with Robin
Oh,
Gates?
what?
And she took.
And you took a spill, kids. What happened?
My guilty pleasure is Bachelor in Paradise, aka everything Bachelor Nation. Shout out to my people out there. Yes, I fell in front of Robbie Hayes.
What was that moment like for you, Gina?
Yeah.
You know what? It really hurt physically, but it was more emotionally the pain.
The pride.
It really was.
Yeah.
I realized like 2 days later, I was like limping. I was like, man, I didn't feel like I hurt myself that bad. I was like, oh, because my emotional pain was so much.
That's right. Yeah.
She will do
You're
and
stronger.
try anything. There was a great acupuncturist in one time, and she's like, listen, I'm jumping in. I'm going for the cupping. I mean, it's been a wild adventure.
It so has.
And-
It really has.
And I think the one thing that I want to highlight too, Gina, is that you have an incredible ability for production, right? An incredible talent for production. You also have an incredible hosting skill set. You do. And you've had a track record of success, but you're so humble about it. Nobody would know until they go Google you. But yes.
You can Google her. You can follow her journey in the whole next chapter at It's Gina, It's Me.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Oh my God, I didn't even know my own Instagram.
Yeah.
See?
Your true friend. You know my Instagram.
Let me handle it for you.
Awesome.
Well, congratulations, and we wish you all the best. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more.
This is what I'm gonna miss the most, and that man. Right there behind the camera that never shows his face. little ginger, I like to call him. So we're back, guys. Yeah, I took Rob's moment.
Still my thunder, Gina. I love it.
You do it. You do it.
No, you did it.
No,
You nailed it, no?
Bring it back.
Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. It's been a fantastic show here on Thought Thursday. We're talking about peace really a lot today, I think. Peace and purpose and, just being our best self, I think, leading with warmth and with love. And so I guess the question of the day for all of you is how do you maintain your peace in the face of adversity or in the face of someone that might be defensive or reactive? What is the one thing that you've learned in your life that's helped you to sort of discover or rediscover that infinite, eternal sort of peace that's always inside?
Are we starting with me?
Sure. I feel like you're the perfect person to start with.
I presume.
Yeah.
I would say that what helps me in any given moment, whether I'm stressed out in traffic or I'm on air doing something like this, or I'm in a heated moment with my fiance, that never happens. I remind myself that I'm not in charge. I'm not in charge. There's something greater than me, bigger than me that's in charge. I'm not in charge. I surrender and I turn it over to the God of my understanding, right? Everyone has something different. Some people it's the ocean, some people the universe, and it's a reminder that I'm not in charge and I'm taken care of. And that instantly calms me down. And then I'm not as mean.
Love it.
Amazing. I feel as though I almost take a step back because I think it's so easy to be reactionary to things and to people, especially when you're driving. It's so easy to get all fiery. And I also see myself in other people. I recognize that pain or anger, whatever someone's experiencing, and rather than reacting to that, I just take a moment. Sometimes I even just take a breath, just a moment, and realize that it's okay to just respond in kindness and love, and or even not respond. You don't have to take it all on. So that's how I,
Sometimes the best response is non-response.
Yeah, because that aggravates someone even more. So.
My answer is these balloons.
There's balloons?
She leaves a little sparkle wherever she goes. Gina, you leave your little sparkle here.
You do.
We are Good Morning La La Land,
Sparkle.
America's
Thank
first
you.
live streaming daily talk show, coming to you Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. And you can also listen to all your favorite interviews available as a podcast on iTunes.
Right? We're waking up the world together. Please like, share, and comment, you guys. Subscribe, all the above. Come on, do it, do it, do it. We love you. Have a great day.
It's going to be a good morning, La La Land.